I'm sitting here in sunny North Cyprus, and I'm joined with one of the most spectacular players on the tour, with the Tornado Tony Drago. Hi, Tony. Great to have you with us.
Thank you, Thomas. Good afternoon, and thanks for the nice compliment.
Tony, obviously, I would say there are two Tony Dragos with regards to the billiard world. There's the snooker Tony Drago and there's the pool Tony Drago. Now, obviously, everything started with snooker. How did it start? I mean, was there like a little bar in Malta where you started playing, or how did Tony Drago start playing billiards?
Well, my father used to be a bit of a gambler. God bless him, now he passed away a few years ago. And I used to be very small, and they never used to let me play on a full-size table. So I used to only throw balls with my hands. And, you know, then I got bigger and bigger, and I never lost love. I played a bit of football in between, but I always knew I wanted to play cue sports. And snooker, you know, I've been doing since I was 8, which is 40 years ago. I've been a pro since 1985. But in 1999, you know, I started to play pool. And I'm in love with pool as well, you know. I love pool a lot, and I love the atmosphere. You know, I'm here like to play the Euro Tour. I think Euro Tour is one of the most fantastic tournaments to play, and it's, you know, sometimes I think it's underrated when they mentioned world tournaments. Euro Tour is European tournament, but if I win a Euro Tour, I feel like I won a world tournament, because all the best players in Europe, most of them are some of the best players in the world. So I'm really looking forward to try and win this tournament.
Let me know, what was the way from the little Tony Drago who threw in balls on that pool table in Malta to the Tony Drago that became one of the stars on the main tour in snooker?
Thanks again, Thomas. Yeah, I think it's just destiny. I mean, nobody ever taught me how to play. I think I was born to play. And, you know, I would have loved to won big tournaments like World Championships and all that. I did okay, you know, I got to number 10 in the world. I won a few tournaments, wasn't like the massive ones. But I look at myself as much as an entertainer, as much as more than maybe a winner. But because the way I played the game, you know, I still like do okay, do exhibitions, and you know, wherever I go, I'm still very recognized in the snooker world and the pool world. And that's down to maybe the way I played. But like I said, I was destined to play that way because no one ever taught me how to play.
You are definitely one of the most recognized players. I once spent a vacation in Malta, which is a lovely island, and already on the plane when I was flying with Air Malta, I saw the first picture of Tony Drago, and you're like a national monument in Malta, I would say. Is it that when you walk the streets, do people recognize you, or when you come to a restaurant, do people know that, hey, this is Tony Drago coming there, and what's the feeling?
People recognize me in Malta, obviously, because of the sport, but Malta, it's a small place, and they recognize me and they come and talk to me, mostly not because Tony the snooker player or the pool player, because it's Tony. And in Malta you have to keep your feet on the ground, because where I come from in Malta, everyone is equal, whether you work from 9 to 5 or you're a snooker player. So I have to keep my feet on the ground, because as soon as I get out of that, people will soon put me in my place and they let me know. So in Malta, they come to talk to me because it's me, I'm Tony, they know me when I was young. Obviously, they're a bit proud of what I did. In fact, they're very proud of what I did, but they come to talk to me because it's Tony, the guy that they know when he was like young. You know, in Malta, it's like very down, you know, keep level. Otherwise, they'll let you know.
When you started playing pool, Tony, you were quite successful already in the very beginning. I mean, in 2007 you were a Vice European Champion in 8-ball, and you were MVP of the Mosconi Cup team, and you won the Mosconi Cup in that actual year. What would you think is or is it easier for a snooker player to start playing pool, or why do you think that you were so successful in such a quick time?
Because unlike the other snooker players, they tried it. I always liked the game and I always watched it. I remember I used to watch challenge matches when Bustamante lives in Kiel, between Bustamante against Oliver, Oliver against Ralph, Ralph against Bustamante, and I said one day I will play that game, and I always liked it. And one day Barry called me in 1999 and he invited me to play in the World Championship, and the rest is history. You know, I always enjoyed it, and then I think I met Mr. Linders in Holland, and he invited me to play the Euro Tour. And Euro Tour has been, been very, very good to me. I always been looked after when I played Euro Tour, and that's why I enjoy playing Euro Tour. And when I don't play Euro Tour, it's like I always say, I got a few years left in snooker, and I want to try and do my best. But believe me, I'm 48 years old, but pool is not even the present for me, it's still the future. So I'm really excited about pool.
Okay, Tony, another question I heard from one of your Mosconi Cup colleagues is that your mother, she must be a gorgeous cook. And they say that whenever you go to Malta that you really enjoy her cooking. Tell me about your mom and how important is she for your career?
Well, my mom has been everything. She she raised me, she raised me single-handed because my mom and my dad never lived together, and she did a very, very good job. And regarding to cooking, for me, she is the best cook in the world, but every son says about that, about his mother, so I'm sure there's plenty good cooks. And I didn't see her for 2 years because, I was busy and all that. I mean, no excuse, but I had some outside problems, and I didn't fancy seeing anyone that I care and love because I had so many problems, and I just wanted to be on my own. But she's number one.
Yeah.
I still get a lump when I speak about her on the throat.
Give me one last info about you. I went on Wikipedia, of course, to prepare for this interview, and it says there that you support Juventus Turin. Now, I always see you in a Chelsea jersey.
Yes.
What is?
Put me in a bit of a spot here. Yes. Well, I supported Juventus, and this is where my mother's comes in as well. I was only 6 years old, and we were watching Juventus Milan, and my mother wanted Milan to win because she fancied Gianni Rivera. And I said, no, I want the others to win. I want the others, the black and white, to win. And they happened to be Juventus. So I supported Juventus ever since, 42 years. But in the last 10 years, because I live close to Chelsea, like about 20 minutes by car. So I said, well, listen, I live in London. I love English football. And I'm supported Chelsea. And now with this special one back, it'll be more excitement. But I had Thomas, your team is not too bad, Schalke, and is in. Is it with the Chelsea group? Is it this year?
I think so, in the Champions League.
Yeah, well, let's hope the both of us go through. So me and you, we can have a happy drink next time after we go through the groups.
We will do anyway, Tony.
We will do anyway.
Thank you very much for the interview. I really appreciated that.
And it's always nice talking to you because you always do things professionally, and I enjoy talking to professional people.
Same here. Thank you very much, Tony.
No problem.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the interview as much as I did. There were a lot of inside views of Tony that I did not know before, and we're going to come back with more action later.